Hello there and welcome to the Isle of Skye. And as you can see, just my bloody luck, it's claggy. But we're here for a few days, so hopefully it won't stay this way. I'm fresh off the NC500 where we've had, well, 5 days of beautiful bright sunny skies. Weather's been absolutely perfect, so hopefully that trend carries on the next few days, apart from now, obviously. So we're hoping to explore a few places here on Skye. Obviously we're going to go to Portree at some point, get some fish and chips or get a pizza from one of the local restaurants. Who knows? I've not made any concrete plans yet, but what I do know is I'm going to a few places. So on this trip we're going to be going to the Fairy Glen, Fairy Pools, the Quirang, and after tonight we're staying in a campsite at Staffin, so hopefully we'll go to the beach there where there's dinosaur footprints, and also the Melt Falls, something like that, where there's a nice waterfall that goes into the sea that you can only really see from drone footage. So hopefully the weather stays nice enough for me to be able to get some drone footage. I mean, it has been the last 5 days, so yeah, if you haven't seen the NC500 videos, go back and watch them. They're on my channel. I'll put them in a playlist all of their own, probably put it under Scottish road trips. You know, then we'll know what we're talking about. But apart from that, let's get into the video and let's do some exploring on the Isle of Skye. Well, we left the campsite this morning and we're making our way over to Fairy Pools. It's clagged in. Hopefully though, the clag isn't too low that we can't enjoy the Fairy Pools. Campsite we stayed on last night was called Camping Skye. Really nice little site, to be fair. Facilities are great. We had electric hookup, hard standing. It was spot on, really. Couldn't ask for more. But yeah, as I say, Fairy Pools this morning. I think there was supposed to be some sort of break in the cloud about 11ish. We're on 9:42 now, and we're 20 minutes away from the place. So maybe with the walk up, by the time we get up there might be a bit of a break. But I'm not holding my breath because Skye can be, well, it's known for this. It's known for a bit of clag. So hopefully though, we might strike a bit lucky. I have been lucky the previous times I've been to Skye where I've had, especially on the Old Manor Store, it's been clear for me. So that's always a bonus. But we're going to crack on to Fairy Pools now, and well, hopefully it'll get a bit nicer. Well, it seems Fairy Pools is a very, very, very popular place. Car park in a camper van is £8. £8 to go parking for an hour or two. I mean, it's obviously a very busy place and they're just making a lot of money out of this. But I'm looking at the path. The path looks pretty good, but the problem is there are hundreds of people on this, and I don't particularly want to go walking where there's hundreds of people to a plunge pool. So I'm going to go find somewhere better, quieter and less travelled on like this is, because this is just tourist nightmare.
It's my worst nightmare as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it is a weekend and I probably should have thought about this a bit more, but it's just really busy. It's like looking at Snowdon out there. Really, just too busy to enjoy something like that. I was hoping that we'd get there, I could jump in the water, have a bit of a splash about, you know, enjoy myself a bit, but I don't think I would enjoy it with all those people around. So we're gonna go find somewhere else. I hope this doesn't turn into a nightmare, this place.
Do you know one thing though? When you look at the Isle of Skye on like Instagram or TikTok, it comes up with Fairy Pools.
Yeah.
So it's just the popular.
Yeah, it's the popularity of the place. It's not for me, guys, you know. I'm looking for somewhere that's quieter which is just as enjoyable, if that was dead. But I'll be honest with you guys, it's a bit, if you want to know what the ferry pools are like, just go on Instagram, or I'm sure there's hundreds of videos on it. But for me, I don't like going where all the crowds go. And unfortunately, it is that time of year where there's going to be a lot of crowds. But surely, there's places they don't go. So, we're going to find those places. I'm sure everything's going to be busy. So, yeah. Right, let's go and find somewhere. Well, on our way up from the ferry pools, went to Portree, had a spot of lunch, and now we're on our way. We're walking right now to the Fairy Glen, so let's have a look, see what that's about. Well, this is the top of Castle Ewan, part of the Fairy Glen, and it's really good views up here of the whole of this this glen. So, without further ado, I'll give you some 360 views. Now, I don't quite know what the story is behind the Fairy Glen, but it's very interesting geology here. So yeah, it's quite an interesting place. I wonder if there are any fairies though, if there are such things. So, make a wish, that's all I'll say. Well, that was Fairy Glen. Pretty interesting geology there. Quite a nice little walk, especially for the family. What a... oh, God. Right, quick one here. It's high season, I think, now on Skye. It is full of tourists, and I know I'm a tourist, but the tourists here do not know how to use the roads. There's, I mean, not to slate anyone out like that or any nationalities, but there's a lot of foreign drivers and they're all renting vehicles. You'll notice a lot of new vehicles, but they don't understand that a passing place is not a parking place, and a lot of them will just you're in a national speed, which, you know, if you're British, you know, is 60 miles an hour. A lot of them will be doing 30 mile an hour, and they will not move over to let you past, like it says on the signs to move over to let you past. I didn't have this problem on the NC500. Everyone was well behaved, everyone was spot on. But on Skye, I seem to be having a real issue with people not really thinking about other drivers on the road. So I'd be getting a little bit annoyed with people, but you know, it's one of those things. Right now we're going to head over to Melt Falls. Hopefully it's not mega busy. It's probably going to be a little bit busy, to be fair. And then after that, probably go to the campsite. I was staying at this campsite for 2 nights. I'm going to negotiate with them, see if I can just stay for the 1 night, because I want to move on. I don't want to stay up here. It's a shame.
Disappointing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been quite disappointing how busy it is, and I get it, it's a beautiful place and everyone wants to come and see it, but in my opinion, I think it's a little too busy, especially if you're coming up this high, this far north. You know, you really don't want to be just don't want to be bombarded with tourists, and that seems to be what we are. There's a lot of Germans, French, a lot of people from different countries come to visit Skye, and I don't blame them, it's a beautiful place, but
it's just like that lady we just spoke to, she said it's too busy, didn't she?
Yeah, we're speaking to a German woman who's coming, and she said it's a German holiday at the minute, so that's why there's a lot of them here. And I noticed that there was a lot on the NC500, but still it wasn't on the NC500. I think because it's so spread out, it's not mega busy. But it's only going to get busier now. We're in the middle of May, and yeah,
it's not like last January when me and you came.
Last January when we came up, there was no one here. It was absolutely beautiful. Don't get me wrong, it was cold, but at the end of the day, you had it all to yourself, and you're not getting anything to yourself now. Sometimes you just want that nice 5-minute break where there's no one else around, so you can sort of take everything in yourself, and you're not getting that right now. But as I say, we're making our way over to Melt Falls. I still want to do the Quirang, which is tomorrow. We're going to do that tomorrow. But yeah, I think I want to try and move on, find somewhere a bit quieter. I might even move off the island yet. Who knows? We're going to make some solid plans.
Over a pint?
What?
Over a pint.
Over a pint? Yeah, that sounds even better, that. Make a decision over a pint. Everyone knows that best decisions are made after drinking beer. So
let's do it.
Let's do it. So yeah, let's carry on driving, go to Melt Falls, and yeah, see what that's all about. And this, guys, is exactly what I'm talking about. I've got people reversing past me, I've got people not moving, I've got... What the hell is going on?
This is the Isle of Skye in May.
Well, we're currently at Melt Falls, which is basically a cliff face with a waterfall that falls into the sea. This is the quietest it's been in the last 5 minutes. There was 3 big buses here when we turned up. I've had enough of Skye, I'm going to be honest with you guys. It's just too busy. When I come out of season, it's an amazing place. Beautiful, stunning place. There's hardly anyone in the places you want to go to. Well, this is ridiculous. I have never... I don't know.
If we had this, we could just stay at home and go into town.
This, just go into Blackpool. Honestly, I don't want this. I come into the country and I come up to Scotland thinking, oh, it's so remote that no one's going there. And we've got Germans, South Koreans, Chinese, all that coming Austrian, Belgian,
Dutch,
English, fucking English,
French
as well.
Everyone is
Everyone is here. No one's at home. Everyone's come to Skye. And if I want this, I'd go to the Lake District right now, and I'd go into Windermere. It's Windermere busy, and if you know what that's like, it's ridiculous. Top tip: come to Skye out of season. Weather might not be as nice.
Get some warm clothes.
Just pack some warm clothes. Get some waterproofs. You'll love it. It's a beautiful place. I suppose if you were climbing like the big mountains, we've just come over the pass, the Quirang Pass.
Oh, I filmed you get out the van and said this is Skye.
Yeah, I had to tell people to reverse. There was literally like 10-15 cars waiting to go through, and none of them moved. Everyone was just sat still, not doing anything. No organisation. I had to tell people that they needed to reverse so we could all get through. Brains, no brains. Oh God, I'm sounding so negative about this, but I'm not a fan. I am not a fan of this sort of thing anymore. Like, I don't like being a tourist, and I don't like doing touristy things. I like to go and see nice places, and this is a nice place, but there's times of year to go and see it, and this just isn't the time of year.
Just take a breath and look at that view.
It's beautiful. See, that's another thing. It's no like, there's just as much clag now as there was in January as there is in like March. So just come then anyway. It's not like it matters. So I'm going to head back to the campsite, and I'm going to ask them if I can just do one night. I was going to do 2 nights up here, but I'm going back to Scotland, the mainland, because it was far quieter. God, I love this island as well.
Never again in season.
Never again in season we're coming here.
Right, let's go to the campsite.
It's early, it's too early for a campsite. We're gonna have to go. Oh, hello there. It's the next morning, and I think we're going to try and attempt the Quirang. Passed through it yesterday. There was no spaces. It was full of people. That's where we had that traffic jam. So we're going to try and get up there a bit early today. Hopefully there's not too many people there, and then we're going to head off the island, because it's just been too busy. It's been murder trying to get from one place to the next. You know, I was speaking to the woman who's running the campsite with her husband, and they said to me, it's like, it should take 25 minutes to get to Portree from here. It's been taking them like 45-50 minutes, because everyone's just dawdling, really. And I don't really dawdle when I'm driving. If it's 60, I'm doing 60. You know what I mean? I'm not messing about, I'm going. So, yeah. There's lots of things to take in, but it's nothing you can't take in at 60 miles an hour. Yes, it goes a bit quicker, but if you're really that bothered about it, pull over in a parking space and then have a look around. Otherwise, get moving. So we're going to go to the Quirang. Anyway, yeah, there's a bit of clag, but I think it's clearing up a little bit, so we're going to head out there now. How you doing, fellas? So it's very much quieter right now, and the roads were a joy because there was no one out there. We're here, what time is it now? Probably about, is it 9 or something?
9:30.
9:30. Yeah, and obviously it's quite far north, the Quirang. So we were staying at the Staffing caravan and campsite. Get down here, and to be fair, it was very, very close. It's just in Staffing, which is 5 minutes down the road. So the good thing is, everyone probably stays Portree, you know, further south or whatever. But fortunately, because we're so much closer, We're here well before anyone else turns up. Well, there are a few people, and they've probably got the same idea we have of getting here early before the mad rush starts. But there is a bit of clag. But I think, to be honest with you, it adds to that Skye mystery, because it is a stunning place. The certain formations that are here, like Store, you know, they look pretty cool. So we're going to crack on a bit closer and get to the actual Quirang or Quithrang. But yeah, it's pretty fun. Try not to slip though, because she's blocking all my view. Pavy's gone. Well, the missus and Pavy have gone back to the van because the rock started getting a little slick, really. I'd have carried on, but Kirsten wasn't very confident with her feet and on the rocks and that. She was constantly worried about me slipping with Pavy on my front, which is a very sensible parenting choice, isn't it, really? I'd have carried on. I've got too much confidence sometimes, so I'm carrying on to the Quirang. They've gone back to the van, so this should be a bit quicker at least. But yeah, it's a shame really, because I mean, I think Pavy is still far too young to understand what's going on, but even at this young age, he's sort of getting burned into her head a little bit of being outdoors, which is what really we should all strive for. Because there's too many kids now sat in front of TV screens, sat in front of iPads, just clicking away and not going outside, and I don't want that. I want her to be running around out here with me, you know, being a proper kid, you know, with a big kid dad. So we're gonna head up to different parts of the Quirang now and hopefully get some nice shots. So let's go. Well, what else can you say other than wow? The scenery here is absolutely out of this world, and even better when it's quiet. Yeah, hit it early guys, because this is beautiful. The mist is lifting. Always does get a bit misty in the morning in Skye, well 90% of the time, but as soon as your sun comes out and it burns through, it starts to lift, and well, I'm glad it has, because these views, that view is absolutely sensational. So guys, I'm gonna potter around a bit more and then I'm gonna head back, get myself a drink, but you guys just enjoy this.
got a picture of the waterfall in the front now.
Oh, there it is right there. Well, we were passing, so I thought, why not? Melt Falls, it wasn't as busy, still not quiet, but yeah, it was more enjoyable. Now we're making our way to Torrin, so we're going to be driving past Old Manor Store, through Portree, and then the beautiful roads all the way back to the south of the island. So it should be quite nice to drive. Hopefully we can do that without too much interruptions and too many people dawdling. So let's go. Well, I've made a decision that we're gonna so many things I've just not done on this trip in Skye. We're gonna head off Skye because we're gonna make our way to Glencoe. Bit of a trek, yes, and I must admit it's not the easiest drive to do. Right, well, I mean, it's not too. We're gonna head off, get up to Glencoe, get down to Glencoe, should I say, get off this island and just head back home. But we're gonna stop off somewhere, probably Fort William for some food, or even earlier than that probably. Just find a cafe somewhere. I just want to get off Skye now. I've had enough.
We'll come back in the winter.
We'll come back in the winter when it's quieter, when it's, how should I put it? It's not full of tourists. Yeah. Because
I mean, you even spoke to the people at the campsite, didn't you?
Yeah, and they get annoyed with it, with how many people there are, and that's how they make money. So you know, I can't believe how much busier Skye is than the than the NC500. It boggles my mind. Like, and the thing is, even when there was people in the NC500, they wouldn't.
They were like courtesy, weren't they?
Yeah, they were courteous, you know, they'd pull out the way if you came up behind them, like, okay, yeah, you want to go quicker than us, we'll pull over, blah, blah. Here, they're just, blinkers are on. The blinkers are on, they don't care, they don't think about anyone else but themselves. And I think that's probably because there's not a lot of signage here that says, like, allow overtaking. Like, you shouldn't have to say allow overtaking, you should just be like, well, you're not doing 30, let someone get past you. Sorry, if you're not doing 60 and you're doing 30, just let someone get past you. You know, it's just, they just have blinkers on, they ignore everything around them, and apart from the scenery, and that's just, it's slightly annoying. So we're getting off this island. It's a shame because I love this island, but I love it off season. So we'll come back again off season. Might even try October. Weather might start getting a bit rubbish then, but it'll be quieter. I mean, we'll see. But looking out to Scotland, it looks absolutely beautiful. So, let's head now over to the mainland again, and then hopefully avoid a lot of traffic. Yeah, let's go, guys. So we just had a quick stop off on the mainland just as we crossed over from Skye Bridge. We turned left at Isle of Lash, something like that. Lashlock? I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't really matter about that. A Croft Cafe. We got something to eat there and something to drink. To make you aware, at the Croft Cafe they do Highland cow tours. So £20 per person. And they'll take you out on a tractor to some Highland cows and you go stroke them or whatever you want to do with a Highland cow. Not everything that you might want to do with a Highland cow. You can't eat them or do anything internet weird stuff, you know. So we're heading now to Fort William. Obviously there's going to be some crazy good views in between now and then. So keep tuned. Hello and welcome to Glencoe, and you'll know that if you know what's behind me. That's one of the mountains of Glencoe that I really do fancy climbing because it's the first one you see when you're coming from the south. I will be heading back in to the mountains of Glencoe. I just wanted to get out just while there's lots of people still driving because it's flipping busy out there still. But we are going to stay around this area tomorrow, well, tonight, and then leave tomorrow. But yeah, what a beautiful, stunning location. So we're here, hopefully we get some northern lights tonight, but I do want to be flying around the mountains of the Glencoe area. So yeah, just have a brew now. I've got an Eccles cake, so I'm gonna have that while I have my coffee. So time to waste some time. So these are the Three Sisters. Absolutely beautiful. Quite big mountains. Like most things in Scotland, they are all quite big mountains. I'm going to get the drone out now, fly around, get some beautiful scenic views of that. But yeah, it's getting a bit later now. It's just after 6 o'clock, but it's still busy in these laybys. So yeah, I've just come away a little bit from the car park to get the drone up. But yeah, absolutely stunning views. Wow. Tell you what, there isn't much better a place for a bit of wild swimming and a bit of a dip in some cold Highland water. I mean, that is pretty beautiful, and it's right next to the road, so you're not private, but it's still a nice swim. Well, feels like a long time since I've done this, but I've got to do it, haven't I? Oh, beautiful. Wow. And I'll tell you what, it's not that cold. Beautiful spot. Well, this is it. This is the end of the Scottish Highlands road trip, and I don't think we're going to get an aurora tonight. Those forecasts have changed for tomorrow night, and I'm not staying here another day. But what a scene to end the video on. Looking down at the Glencoe Valley, looking pretty magnificent in the light we have. And you know what? I've had a really good time up until after the NC500 and the roads. Because before that, I'll be honest with you, I was expecting it to be far worse doing the NC500, but there wasn't really any traffic. It was pretty damn quiet. But don't forget, guys, that's 500 miles worth of traffic all ironed out. Whereas as soon as I got onto Skye, oh my days, yeah, that was a different story. Let's put it that way. And heading back to Fort William to Glencoe has been pretty busy. So what we decided to do, we're not going to stay here at Glencoe because firstly, we're not going to get any stars tonight, and we're certainly not going to get an aurora borealis. So yeah, we're going to head back during the night, maybe end up in the Lake District. Probably that might be my plan, to be fair. It is still what, four and a bit hours. Well, I'll take that back, I know it's a lot more than that. 6 hours driving. No, not 6 hours. Let's say 5.5 hours driving from here to get to the Lake District, or around that amount of time. So I probably will stop off, but I want to put as much mileage between me and the tourists as I possibly can, get to them wider roads, those motorways of, you know, around Glasgow. As soon as I'm around that area, I should be fine. I've got some friends down in Glasgow that I could probably say, can I borrow your drive? And they'll be absolutely fine with that. But yeah, I just want to not get frustrated with 30-mile-an-hour drivers, you know, and then people refusing to overtake them. So there's like 10-15 car tailbacks, you know. It's ridiculous what happens up here. All I'm going to say to you, if you want to go and see Skye, you want to see Glencoe, Fort William, all these beautiful places, because they are incredible. The Highlands are unreal. What you want to do, what you really want to do, is come out of season. Yes, the weather's not going to be nice. Yes, it's probably going to be claggy. But, you know what? I think most of the time it's claggy. I mean, you look over here in that direction. Those Highland Mountains over there. That's all in clag anyway. And it is, this May's the best time of year. June, July, it starts to get raining, and August as well. September, there tends to be a little bit of a break if you're lucky. And it does quieten down a bit, but it's midgy season. And it's just midgy hell. And then October, I'm thinking about maybe in October coming back up here. I don't know yet, but your winter months, your late autumn, your early spring, that's your best bet. Honestly, guys, you will thank me for how much of an easy road trip you have, how lovely it is to drive up here. You'll thank me if you come at those times of year. Otherwise, you're just going to have just a struggle session with everyone around you. But yeah, just enjoy that one more time, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you got this far in all these videos, I'm not doing road trips all the time, although if you do want me to do road trips, you let me know, and I'll film more of my van ventures, my overnighters, you know, say driving up to the lakes, or, you know, driving to Wales or whatever. I'll make sure I film them and give you guys a bit more tour the UK. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. Subscribe. If you've watched all these videos, just subscribe, guys. There will be more like this in the future. Can't say when. It's more going to be wild camps, tent reviews and hikes, but nevertheless, outdoor stuff. See you later.